live chat, public, public, live chat, public, live chat, vertical, public, live chat, vertical, camera, lights, sound, only one streaming option. Has he done it? He's done it. Oppa! 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 Oh my god, bro. The boomer in me has finally. Cheers, Tony. Thanks for sticking with me, mate. I appreciate it. Public stream. Tony's here. There we go. Pop out the chat. Make sure it's set to everything. Oh, I think we've done it, mate. Better. Yeah. Let's see. All right, let's see. We had some people watching before. Let's see if they jump back in, but it's all good, man. It's all good. What a rough start. I think I've got it figured out now. There's a certain way to set it all up. I think I've got it all figured out. So we should be right. Okay. What's been going on? So much. So much has been going on in the MMA world. Conor McGregor just going around being a menace on coke. As he does. As he does. The UFC just scrambling for 301, trying to find anything they can, right? I think they actually are hoping that Alex Pereira can make a quick turnaround, which is just crazy. I'm just double checking it here on this end. Yeah, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, cool. Well, if we lose... Oh, now what? Oh, God almighty. And my camera literally just unplugged as I was doing that. Jesus. Whatever, we use the webcam. All right, cool. Oh, man. What a shit show. All right, camera's working. My wire literally just died as I was doing it. All right, cool. Mike Tyson is a scary, scary dude. I mean, he was for sure, and I certainly wouldn't want to fight him, you know. But these days, in his old age, I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, you got to remember how long he's been working with this coach for, how long he's been going through these exact same routines. He'd want to look good by now, you know. He'd want to look good at them. Fuck you for a vertical stream. They're so annoying to watch. Western Mass, I know, brother. I know. Don't get angry at me, man. Get angry at YouTube, you know? They're the ones that did this to us. They're the ones that pushed this shit out. Don't hate the player. Hate the game, mate. Hate the game. All right, what else we got going on? Just bouncing around. Let's go see if we get some fucking MMA news coming up, huh? Joe Hogan, what's up, brother? How you going, man? I got the whole crew. How late do you people stay up? Like, what is the time over there for Western Mass and for Joe Hogan to be awake? Jesus, man. Scott Coker gives his first interview since moving on from PFL over to Bellator. Oh, man. Night shift worker in Based, Texas. Nice, brother. Nice. It's 1 a.m. I'm not long for this world, though. Dude, I don't blame you. I was up at 5 a.m. this morning, hitting the gym. You guys were already going at it over in Ronan's stream. You've just been hanging out all day. Ghostface Killer, 1 a.m. I got this whole 1 a.m. crew going on. Wait, it's Saturday here, so it must be 1 a.m. on a Friday night over there. You loose motherfuckers out in Texas. Let's see what he's saying. I mean, Bellator was going broke, wasn't it? Like, we all know Bellator was going broke. They pretty much gave themselves away over to the PFL. Tony's on Aussie time. Yeah, bro, I mean, if you're a night shift worker, for sure. Hogan, you cunt. I'm just about to sleep. 109. No, let's do a 24-hour stream, lads. We'll stay up until Ronan comes back on. That seems fair to me. 24-hour stream. Tuivasa versus Tybora. If Tuivasa doesn't get this win, it's all done for him. Like, the dude, is he chinless or not? That's what we're going to find out tomorrow. Dude, Usman is ducking Shavkat, yes? Yes or no? Usman does not want that Shavkat smoke, yeah? Let's turn this on. Here you go, guys.
You've got Ian Gary making his way up. You've got
Do you
MVP.
fight Shavkat as an eliminator?
Who?
You.
Who, me? It's funny how we just gonna throw me in there. I thought we was talking about who's next for Leon. But no,
you can hear him now?
There's a lot of Khat Rakhmonov. You've got Ian Gary making his way up. You've got
Do you
MVP.
fight Shavkat as an eliminator?
Who?
You.
Who, me? It's funny how we just gonna throw me in there. I thought we was talking about who's next for Leon.
Western Mass, leave this stream running. I'll be asleep soon. Dude, if you can sleep through all this nonsense, good on you, bro. Good on you. What do we reckon? Kamaru Usman does not want that Shavkat smoke. Probably not, right? Probably not. Me? Huh? No. Like, I think Usman versus Whitaker would be sick next. That's what I'd be shooting for. Usman versus Whitaker. Let Usman just stay up. Usman don't want... No, of course not, man. Let him just stay up. He's an older guy. His knees are shot to shit. He does not need to be making that weight cut anymore. Just let him stay up. Or, you know what? Not a crazy idea, right? Rematch with Chimaev. Like, it was pretty much a fucking draw anyway, yeah? And since it was pretty much a draw, give him like a proper training camp rather than 11 days off the couch and run it back, a rematch with Chimaev. Because it was a bit of a robbery, to be honest. Like, not giving Usman that win, you know? Tony, who won? DDP versus Strickland, in your opinion? I think DDP edged it out, but I do think it was close as shit. And to me, that one needs to be a rematch. That is one of the like clearest, you know, Tom Aspinall versus John Jones and DDP versus Strickland are like some of the clearest title shots that need to happen right now. And probably Bilal as well, but you know, fuck him because he's boring as shit. But yeah, to me, DDP just edged it out. And I think Strickland wins the rematch. I think Strickland can actually push forward. I think if you just pressure DDP, you know, 20% more, Strickland actually edges out that rematch. Yeah, it's insane that they're not. It's insane that they're not. That they're giving Izzy a title shot when Cannonier is there, Chimaev is there, Whitaker is there. There's so many good number one contenders for Izzy to go and fight. And then you've got, you know, the old guard of lightweight, the old lightweight top five just being absolute fucking bosses. Like Gaethje takes on Fiziev, Poirier takes on Benoit, Oliveira takes on Sarukian. Like all these lightweight guys are fighting for their place in the top five. And Izzy is just pulling a Cyril Gane and just kicking back and being like, give me title shot. I deserve. Like, fuck off, man. Fuck off. Tony, who do you think won out of DDP versus Strickland? Usman ain't going back to 170. Nope. True. He is ducking. Don't blame him. How big... Here's a serious question for the chat. How big are JDM's balls for calling for Shavkat? elephant, hippo. Like, what size balls are we talking, you know? Elephant balls, I would say, for being the only one to call out Shavkat in, like, the entire UFC. You reckon Strickland won it? Fair enough. I mean, it's one of those fights where, like, you're judging the strength of shot just in inches. You rewatched it yesterday. Sean out damaged DDP in 3 rounds. That's what it's all about. No, I agree. I totally agree. I think it's one of those fights where it's like, you know, the judges, they're only sitting in one position on the side of the cage. They're not like us where they're getting all the camera angles and they get to stop and rewatch things and reconsider things. They watch it once from one direction of the cage in real time, and then by the time the next round starts, they need to have that round scored and banked, like, in the pocket. So I think it's one of those fights where, like, it's the way that the sport works, the way judging in MMA works, that makes it so hard to judge it and so close, which is the reason why, man, it should be a rematch. It 100% should be an instant rematch. To have a title fight go that fucking close, that's what's good, cutie. Please don't call me cutie. That's sus. No, thank you. You rewatched it yesterday. Strickland won, and it's not debatable in your mind. Fair enough. It's debatable in my mind. I think, like, we're calling damage. All right, my bad cut. No, it's fine, bro. Just mate, lad, bro. That'll all do. Yeah, I mean, I think that's Western Mass. Like, that's the thing, dude. It's such a close fight. Like, it is debatable, but that's fair. Like, you got the way you saw it. I got the way I saw it. If I was a judge sitting on the side of the cage, I would have given it to DDP on the night. But I would also be calling for an immediate rematch. UFC talk, yes, sir. That's what we're doing. We're just hanging out, probably for like an hour and a half, talking shit. Do you think Usman is ducking Shavkat Saduka? What do you reckon, mate? We just watched this clip. We're going to move on after it later.
And Gary making his way up. You've got
Do you
MVP.
fight Shavkat as an eliminator?
Who?
You.
Who, me? It's funny how we just gonna throw me in there. I thought we was talking about who's next for Leon. But no, there's a lot.
Usman is washed? I don't know, dude. I don't know if he's washed. I mean, his knees are in a lot of fucking pain. His knees are in a lot of pain. But, dude, okay, you reckon Usman's washed. He came off the couch at 11 days' notice and pretty much drew with Chimaev. Like, are we really saying that's washed? Are we really saying that's washed? MVP is my goat. You are a fucking troll. You are a troll if MVP is your goat. Everyone knows the goat of the sport is Al Iaquinta. Pushed Khabib right to a decision. No, you're right. Look at DDP's face. He was mangled. That's true, man. That's true. He was mangled. Like, it was one of those fights. It was one of those fights. Look, dude, Weston, I'm not gonna die on this hill, man. I think that fight was razor close. I'm just saying, like, on the night when I was sitting here in this chair, in this very fucking chair, watching it on this very TV, on the night I gave it to DDP. But it was close as shit. Like, and you know, I'm not gonna die on that hill. You love MVP? I was not impressed by MVP's last performance. But I'm excited to see him in a proper match. I want to see him versus Ian Gary. I think he's the one that can slap Ian Gary up for us all. So I'm excited for that. Prime or both, Tyson versus Butterbean. Butterbean all day. And the only experience I have of Butterbean is watching Jackass back in the day when he was beating up the jackheads. Dude, I don't watch boxing, man. I've never watched boxing. I find it, like, the cards way too slow and boring. I watch MMA, which is either UFC, Cage Warriors, One Championship. I watch some Muay Thai from One Championship. I watch some Eternal in Australia. That's sort of like where I'm at. And then I just don't have fucking time to watch more than that. So if I can keep up with the UFC, One Championship, Eternal in Australia, and Cage Warriors, then I'm a happy, happy man. Oh, and some bare knuckle. I like bare knuckle a lot. Like, that shit is just brutal, man. Kevin Holland got his own medicine. Yeah, I will 100% agree with that. I think he did. Like, Kevin Holland, he likes to be that fun, rangy, poppy striker and then talk shit in between the shots. And MVP just did it like 10 times better than he could. MVP better clap that McGregor. I think he can, man. I think he really can. Bobby Taylor is my boxing coach. Isaac, that means literally nothing to me. But hey, good. Good for you, man. Good for you. Ian Gary just needs someone to press him and to want to finish him. Like, if Jeff Neal had just fucking pushed forward, then he could have really hurt Ian Gary. But he chose to just stand there and not push in that last, like, what do you reckon, 6 minutes of the fight? Like, as the second round was finishing up, we were like, come on, Jeff, just fucking go for it, man. And he didn't. It's so annoying. This man extends his hand to a wild coyote. This man wants to lose his hand. Fuck that, bro. Fuck that. MVP could have ended that fight. He could have. I don't know. With what I've seen with MVP, I feel like he kind of reminds me of Izzy. Like, if you just attack him, if you press him, as long as you don't get caught by that counter, he will crumble. Like, MVP is there as a can crusher. He is styling on these like human boxing bags that aren't giving him any fundamentally aggressive action back. It's very one-sided striking from MVP. I think it's easy to look good against a can. Just my 2 cents, though. Steve Ercik absolutely deserves a title shot. Absolutely deserves a title shot. How can you give the W to someone who was way more beat up? Johnny Hendricks beat GSP too. I do agree with you on the Johnny Hendricks GSP one. I just think the shots that DDP was landing on the night looked like they were hitting Strickland more. And as I was scoring the fight, I was giving the rounds to DDP. But I agree with you. Like, yeah, by the time the fight was over, it was like DDP looked like he had gone through a fucking meat grinder, which is, again, one of the like many things that I like about one championship more than the UFC. You judge the fight as a whole. Like, I think if it was rather than see a round, score a round, put it in the bank and never look at it again, and watch the entire fight, and then at the end of the fight, judge the entire fight, I think Strickland would have walked away with that fight. Because you're right. By the time, like, the swelling and the blood and everything had really started to accumulate and open up by the last round, Western Mass, you're looking at it like, oh, fucking hell. Like, who won this one? You know what I mean? And like, most of the chat seems to think it was Strickland. Fair enough. I thought the way I was scoring it was DDP. So, yeah, man. Yeah. That's where I'm at with it. Thoughts on Paddy? Fuck, I want to see it. He's another one. I want to see him tested. Like, Paddy has had, what was it, those first 2 or 3 fights in the UFC, he always ends up with something clipping him hard on the chin, and then he has to fall back onto his judo throws and his jiu-jitsu to save the day, doesn't he? And since then he lost that fight against Jared Gordon. I know he technically didn't lose the fight. Like, according to the judges, he won the fight, but iffy. And then what was it? It was just Tony and Ferguson, right? It was just Tony and Ferguson. That was the last one, wasn't it? Like, I'm not being a moron here, am I? And like, how is that? That's not a test. That's nothing. So yeah, I want to see Paddy against a high-level fighter that actually is going to push him. Like, I want a real test. Yeah, Tony Ferguson. Thank you, brain. Thank you for still working. Sorry, it's been a long bloody day at work, guys. So I'm a little cooked, mate. I'm just going off the top of my head. I'd like to see him become a star, but I don't think he has it. You never know. Like, I was talking a lot of shit about Sean O'Malley before this weekend. And then with Sean O'Malley being like, fuck it, and trying to get a finish in that 5th round, and like literally not listening to his coaches to telling him to take it easy, I got a lot of respect for O'Malley for that 5th round. So you never know. Like, I want to see Paddy tested, and if he passes that test and is impressive, that's what we'll end up with him. Strickland beat DDP. Don't give a shit what rule set you go by. I go by the rule set that the fucking UFC go by. Damage-based scoring, round by round. By the end of every round, I gave more rounds to Strickland than I did DDP, but it was close. That's what I go by. If it was one championships rule set, I would have gone with Sean Strickland because I would you would have watched the entire fight and then been like, okay, who won that entire fight? It's not, I didn't fucking make up the rules. If it was up to me, you'd be able to knee cunts on the ground. You'd be able to socket kick. You'd be like, I'd just say no eyes, no eye gouges, and no stepping on anyone's nuts. And that would be the fucking UFC if I was in charge of it. So not my rule set, Western Mass. I'm watching the fights and judging them round by round. And to me, DDP won. Okay? But again, rematch. It definitely deserves a rematch. It was fucking close. Yeah, his last one was Tony. Joseph Gordon-Levitt definitely beat Paddy. I think so. I think he did. The question is now, what's next for Paddy? You know? Like, what do we fucking do with him? Where do we send him? Paddy Pimblett, Dan Hooker? Just for fun? Paddy Pimblett, Jarlin Turner? Like, I want to see Paddy fucking go for it and get tested. Properly tested. Not get given a Jared Gordon win and the corpse of Tony Ferguson. Justin Wolf. You can... Justin, what are you saying? Talk English, mate. What are you talking about? Fuck the UFC rule set. Strickland beat DDP. Western Mass. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, we can't do anything. All we can do is bitch to the UFC that we want a rematch. That's all we can say, bro. You know, I don't know what to tell you, man. All of us UFC fans need to just abandon UFC and go follow one championship where they have fights. Real fucking fights. Justin Wolf. I don't know what you're talking about, Juzzy. Juzzy? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. Start speaking English. We'll get the fuck out of here. Mexican YouTuber almost decapitated. Well, we're not playing that on YouTube, are we? Oh my God, brother. Oh my God. Let's see some of the reactions to this. I haven't seen any reactions to this yet. Mikhaev fans seething. Yeah, absolutely right. Strickland wouldn't have been able to keep the belt anyways. Bro would have got lit regardless. I don't know, man. I don't know. You know, I think Strickland could win the DDP rematch if he just pushes a little bit harder. I do think Strickland could beat Israel Adesanya again pretty easily. Chimaev would have been interesting. Chimaev would have been, can Strickland survive the first 2 rounds? You know, because Strickland's not a finisher. So is Strickland going to be able to hold off Chimaev, taking him down and choking him out for 2 rounds before Chimaev's post-COVID lungs gas out? Gabrielle Edwards, what are you saying? Oh, come on. You want to see the person decapitated? Are you going to start an OnlyFans? Only when I'm very, very old. Very old. Like 80 or 90. Then I'll go for it. And I think there's a real niche for that, you know? I don't think there's a lot of that out there. So when I'm well and truly sagging, then I will goon all over the internet. I wouldn't say easily. Izzy would definitely change it up like he did in the second Pereira fight. Maybe. You're excited? You'll wait? Well, it depends. How old are you, Gabriel? Like, are you going to make it? You never know. Don't count your chickens before they hatch, mate. You could be dead. You might die, you know? You know? Have you taken certain medications administered, you know, since 2020? You might not make it, mate. You know? So just, if I was you, I'd scroll through OnlyFans now and see what you can find. And try and, you know, live for today. Don't plan too far ahead, brother. Izzy would definitely change it up like he did in the second Pereira fight. I don't know if Izzy can because Strickland crowds Izzy too much. So you could always say like Izzy, anyone can land a great counter shot, and Izzy's counter shots are phenomenal. They always are. They always are, like they're going to be for a while. So Izzy could counter properly and really hurt Strickland and put him out like he did with Pereira. But I think the problem with Strickland versus Adesanya is Strickland's style is perfect for Izzy's style. Izzy likes to establish his range with those leg kicks, and Strickland is just too in your face for it. And doesn't give Izzy a lot to bounce off. Doesn't give Izzy a lot to work against, you know. Like that was a long 25 minutes and Izzy really didn't land anything substantial. Yeah. He's getting a title shot by beating one of the worst ranked fighters in the division. Maybe. I'm a proud UFC fan, but who is Usyk? Well, then you're not a fucking UFC fan, mate. Pantoja's going to smoke him. Looks like he'll have 3 title defenses within a year. No, brother. Usyk is going to knock him out. Aussies are taking over again. Real MMA fans are eating. What the? Nothing? All right. Can you get the white background shit off the screen, please? It's hard to see. Chat. How's that? If I move it up. Is that any better, Western Mass? Let me know, man. UFC 299 was definitely one of the best cards I've seen in a while. Can't lie. It was damn fun. It was a damn good night. A little bit. Let's go a little bit higher. A little bit higher. There we go. Yeah, 299 was damn good. Damn good card. There was a few like little sleepy bits in between, but you're never going to get, 17 straight bangers. Who won, Volk or Makachev? First fight, Volk won, damage-based scoring. He was the only one doing any damage in that third round when Makachev was just backpacking. Second one, I think Makachev won that pretty fucking succinctly. Is that the right word? Probably not. Cardi B says men and women should split the bills 50-50. Good for her. Who should pay the bill on a date, lads? The man or the woman? Mike Tyson, 6% body fat at 58, several months out from his Jake Paul fight. That is not 6% body fat. I don't know who the fuck posted that. That ain't 6%. Whoever posted that. Boxing Kingdom thinks that's 6% body fat. Jesus Christ. God, no. Oh, shit. Oh, man. If I look like that at 60 years old, I'll be fucking happy, dude. The woman for sure. I think it depends on who asked for the date. Nobody would have guessed that head kick. Yeah, man, that head kick was goddamn brutal. That broke my heart. Volk is still breaking my heart, bro. Like, the way that his head was bouncing off Makashev's knee as Makachev was rounding those hammer fists, horrible. And then the way Ilya just slept him. And what hurts the most about Volk is that his team seems to be in denial. Like they seem to think like the Ilya thing was just a lucky shot. Don't sag either by the look of it. 58. Volk went into that fight last second, but still. Yeah, I know. I like a warrior for going in at the last second, but god damn. Mohammed, what's up, brother? How you been, man? That's all right. We're about halfway through. I've been going for about an hour. So you're all good, man. You're all good. Welcome to the stream. How you been? Colby Covington plans to end the little prick in Gary. I don't think Colby Covington can. I don't think Colby has that dog in him anymore. I don't think he does at all. And that call out that Colby did was the cringiest shit I've ever seen. Colby needs to like drop the gimmick completely because we have Sean Strickland, who is essentially the real Colby Covington. You know what I mean? Like Strickland is everything Colby wants to be. And Colby just needs to get in the fucking cage. If Colby isn't in the cage by July, embarrassing, man. You been good? Nice, brother. Nice. Good long week, all done. 1 o'clock in the morning for the Americans. Friday night, all the Americans should be on the beers. Tony, although you don't drink, do you, Marvin? Tony, if Islam beats Poirier, Gaethje, Arman, is he the GOAT of lightweight? If Islam beats Dustin Poirier, yes. Gaethje, yes. Arman, yes. And also beats Volkanovski with Volkanovski moving up. Yeah, and I think he is the GOAT of lightweight, and not just because of that entire list, but also considering that he's the protege and coming from Team Khabib, and he's essentially just Khabib 2.0, like Khabib with striking. Like, honestly, you've seen me make that video, like arguing that lightweight is probably the hardest division in all of combat sports. If Islam does beat Poirier, Gaethje, Arman, and Volk, and is trained from that, that is probably the greatest dynasty in MMA we're ever going to see. I'm talking like a Jordan-esque New England Patriots, Australia, Collingwood Magpies, like just a dynasty. If anyone's wondering about that Collingwood Magpies thing, my team, the Collingwood Magpies, are the only team to ever win 4 grand finals in a row in Australian football history. And yeah, I think Islam could do that if he gets in the fucking cage and fights quickly. So anyway. Can't lie to you and me, it was cringe. You've been good. Can't lie to you and me, it was cringe. But to the fans who like to shit talk, it was a blessing. Used to get drunk and high, bro. Oh, okay, yeah. Cut it for health. Fair enough. There's definitely another Khabib in the rising between all the Dagestanis. Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. Like, he is that new level. It's the only way to bring back his hype. Islam will have a better legacy than Khabib if he fought more. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Islam can go down as like, yeah, he can go down as massive. Ian Gary is sadly going to whoop Colby. I think he can. I don't think Colby's got that dog in him. For Colby Covington to go against Leon Edwards, knowing that Leon Edwards' strong point is not the wrestling, and knowing how old he is and that he was gifted a title shot, for him to be that timid, it's like, what are you fighting for, Colby? Why are you here, man? It was really sad. It was really sad to see. Imagine Poirier in the pocket with Islam. Islam's striking is good, man. Like, Volk's striking is so good, and Islam was able to, like, hang with him. So, yeah. And the problem is, with Poirier, is he's going to throw that ghillie. He's going to throw a guillotine and end up on bottom. And Islam's not going to be as forgiving as Benoit Saint-Denis. Is he? Islam's going to, like, punish him for throwing a ghillie. Dustin Poirier in the pocket will win. The thing about Poirier in the pocket is that he creates wild exchanges. So there is always the chance of a knockout when you're swinging and banging with Dustin Poirier. For anyone like that, I mean, Gaethje found it the other way. Gaethje knocked Poirier out with that awesome head kick. So yeah, Dustin creates chaos. So we'll see. But Islam, Islam has that Oliveira get out of jail free card where if he gets rocked, he can take it to the ground. Like Oliveira was happy to swing and be dangerous on the feet because he knew, like, if he drops and gets knocked to the ground, come, follow me to the ground. Play jiu-jitsu with me. And Islam can do the same thing, but with wrestling instead of jiu-jitsu. So, yeah. Poirier is going to hit a few losses in a row, calling it, you reckon? Do you think that that fight would have been different if Benoit Saint-Denis didn't have Staph? Because Poirier looked fucking good against an up-and-coming killer. So I'm wondering, Satoka, why you think that, man? Why do you think that? If it's an exchanges of punches, yeah, absolutely. And Muhammad, that's what I mean, man. Like, Poirier in the pocket, swinging wildly, creates like a mess, like a car crash for whoever's in there with him, you know? How is he going to call someone disgusting by being disgusting? I'm actually rooting for Colby for once. I mean, Colby can come in and win over a new fan base by beating up Ian Gary if he does. Has Colby ever put anyone's lights out? That's true. Colby Covington has like no knockouts. He has got the fucking pillow hands. The winner gets a title shot before Bilal. Bilal is never getting a title shot. Don't be silly. Jump the gilly. What's staph infection? Staph infection is like if you have a little cut on your skin, which a lot of fighters might get during training or whatever, that cut then gets rubbed against the training mats or gets sweat rubbed into it, or that cut gets sweat and grease and grime from everything going on in the training room rubbed into it, and eventually gets an infection. An infection goes throughout your entire bloodstream. Really fucking bad for you. Can kill you. They put fighters on antibiotics when they have that staph infection, and the antibiotics just like, it fucks up their immune system, fucks up their cardio, makes their weight cut hard to fucking deal with. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. It's an absolute pain in the ass. And you can tell because there might be like an inflared lump, like a giant fucking pimple, an inflared lump, a little spot somewhere on the body where the infection might be. And Benoit Saint-Denis had it right in his forehead. You called it, to be honest. You said Benoit's staph infection will make him lose. Yeah, I remember us talking about that before it. Yeah, he's getting old. More people moving up. I just think it's destined to happen. Yeah, I mean, eventually every fighter is gonna have that moment where like the age just fucking catches up with them. And, you know, there was always that chance that it was going to happen this weekend. And it might happen before the end of this year. Like, one day you're a fighter and you're just old. You're just old. You're just like Volkanovski, you know, like you're the fucking GOAT. You're the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. And the next thing you know, it's all over, man. But Poirier had such clean technique in the pocket against him. You saw the slow-mo break down. Yeah, I mean, and that's like the classic Dusty style, right? Like, let's get these. All of Dusty's fights turn into these fucking weird, drawn-out wars. Yeah. Staph infection, no good for the fighters. Absolutely true. Colby would drop Ian on his dome piece. How, Western Mass? How? How would he drop him, man? Like, who has Colby dropped, brother? Honestly, dude. I just don't see it, man. I just don't see it. You know? If Ian loses to Colby, Colby will be liked again. Fact. Because no one likes Ian that much. Ian loses to Colby. Yeah, no, that's true. I think that's why Colby's going after Ian, because he sees this, like, it's not Colby's fan base, it's just a fan base of fucking Ian Gary haters. And Colby's like, I'll just get them to like me. And he'll just chase Ian Gary. Now, guys, Ian Gary put out that, like, wish list around Christmas, remember? Was Colby Covington's name on it? I don't remember. You guys might. Put it down there in the comments. Don't sleep on Ian Gary. He's a douche, but he's talented. Can't deny it. Yeah, I mean, Ian Gary is like that, you know, Marab, Bilal, Izzy, those fighters that no one likes them as characters in our sport, in our industry, but you cannot deny that they are fucking talented blokes, you know? So yeah, that is true. That is true. Jamal Hill made such an interesting video against Pereira. Yeah, you don't recall Colby's name being on the list. Yeah, Jamal is... have the odds come out for that? They must be out for that. Is Jamal the underdog? Let's have a look. Yeah, Jamal, I think Jamal can beat Pereira. I really do. I really, really do. UFC 300 odds. UFC 300 betting odds in MMA. Holly Holm, Kayla Harrison. Holly Holm is $4.40. Oh my god. Oh, poor Holly. Jamal Hill is the underdog. I'd be putting money on Jamal, boys. Just saying. I'd be putting money on Jamal. I don't mind that underdog. Lads, come here. Come here. Okay, that's the end of that. Come here. Colby will be liked again. Fact, because no one likes Ian that much. Yeah. Jamal Hill made such an interesting video. Yeah. Ian is as awkward like Colby could grab a single leg easy. I don't know if he could, dude. I don't know. Ian Gary's takedown defense is really good. He gets his underhooks in really quickly. Really quickly. And Colby's takedowns, I don't know, they just seem to lack testosterone, you know? I think Ian could get the underhooks on Colby and post up against the cage. Jamal Hill, likely the underdog. He is. Yep, I'd like to see Colby do it, but I don't think so. Yeah, Jamal Hill is like very sooky online, but when he's right, he's right. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense? He just like whinges that he doesn't get enough respect. But yeah. I don't know. He's an interesting character. I like Jamal. I like Jamal Hill. I like the way he fights. The way he fights is fucking awesome. I'm a Jamal Hill fan. But he can be a bit of a sook. But whatever. Derek Lewis is my goat. Your balls are also hot, are they? You watch back some of his fights and he's gotten some decent... Oh, yeah, Jamal Hill's striking is fucking, like, sick. Sick. It's fucking great striking. And, like, let's not forget, Pereira versus Yuri Prohaska, you know, was a competitive fight until Mark Goddard stopped it early. It was an early stoppage. So, you know. No way, I just double-checked Colby Covington is on his wish list. Well, there we go. So there is a chance that that fight could happen. Speaking of lacking testosterone, do you watch F1? No, I'm straight. Do you think heavyweight is a dead division? Is dead until John Jones puts up the real belt? Yeah, I do. And I reckon heavyweight's been dead for a hot minute. Pretty much ever since the Stipe DC. Pretty much ever since Stipe DC, it's been kind of flat, hasn't it? Like, it got held up so much with Francis. You like that, Marvin? Like, it got held up so much with the Francis negotiations. And, like, seeing John Jones choke out Cyril Gane was fucking cool. But just John Jones, he's ducking Aspinall. He's just straight ducking Aspinall. And, like, the heavyweight is walking around calling himself the baddest man on the planet. And it's like, how can you be fucking ducking an up-and-coming contender and calling yourself the baddest man on the planet? I don't recall a good heavyweight fight in such a long time. DC Stipe trilogy for me was it. Someone's got to clip that and make it a short. Yeah, I know. Let's leave it be. It was a funny comment. Don't worry about it. But no, dude, I don't watch F1. I don't. I mean, it's like whatever, man. It's what it like. What I never got about it was they kept reducing the. I got some mates who watch F1. Like they love it. Some of the guys at work really love it, and I never understood like what is the point of making all the cars exactly the same. Like they brought in all these rules apparently that every single car has to have all the specs have to be exactly the same. And then what is the point of having like a Red Bull versus a McLaren or Mercedes? Like, isn't the point to see who can like Ferrari versus Mercedes, who can build the best fucking car? Like, isn't that the point? And then see which one goes the fastest in the circle. But instead, they make them all like the exact same specs. I don't fucking understand it. Like, then what is the point? Why have different teams? Just have drivers. Just have like the UFC with different drivers. Then, like, I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. And it's cars going in a circle is just not that interesting to me. But whatever, man. Like, it's different strokes for different folks. Fuck, it's the most annoying vertical stream. Keep flipping it on accident. Weston, I'm so sorry, dude. I know it sucks, man, but this is what YouTube's promoting at the moment, man. I know. I'm not going to do every stream vertical. I'll probably do like every second stream vertical. But yeah, I mean, look how many more people are in the chat than usual, Weston. Like, it is what it is, dude. You know? Do you think they should add a rule where belt holders can only hold the belt for 1 year unless they have an injury? Yes, they should absolutely do that. If you haven't fought within a year, you should be stripped. If you haven't fought within a year, you should also lose your rankings place by five, like 5 spots down the rankings every single year if you don't compete within a year. And with the injury thing, it should be UFC doctors, not some fucking doctor up in the hills of Dagestan or some fucking butt-fuck doctor out in Perth, in the back alleys of Perth where 10 people live in that city, or some fucking Brazilian doctor from nowhere. It's to be UFC accredited doctors should check for your injury. And if you're not injured by a UFC accredited doctor, then fuck off out of the rankings by 5 spots to keep the divisions moving. Damn, Tony, I'm sorry for your loss. Also, what do you mean by F1 is the equivalent of watching shit go down the toilet bowl when I flush? Sudoku, be nice, man. Tony's a fan, all right? Let him have his cars going in a circle. The whole point is who's the better driver. Again, I don't understand the sport. Like, I really don't watch it. It would force fighters who would fight for the belt and then cruise up to. Yeah, no, I know, I agree, man. Like, that's the thing. We got to keep the sport moving and flowing. So if you're sitting out for a year, fuck off. The fans make it very annoying. F1 isn't a specific series. It's just an IndyCar. Bad season anyways. No time to get into it. Yeah, I mean, I don't have any more input than that, Tony, other than, like, let the cars make different cars. Like, why are they all the same? But, yeah. Keep doing what promotes the channel better, what grows the channel better. Oh, 7 viewers, so worth it. Yeah, Weston, but there's usually 2 or 3, all right? It gets pushed out more. It is what it is, mate. I know you hate it. I'm sorry. The next stream will be a regular stream just for you, Weston. Just for you, mate. All right? And as you're the main mod in here, it's only fair that you get to call the shots. I'm going to fucking rename the channel to Weston Mass's Corner. 10 spaces down in the rankings if you don't fight in a year. Okay. All right. I can go with it. As long as there's some punishment. 5, 10, 7, pick your fucking poison. But there definitely needs, like, why was Ortega kept at number 3 for so long? It's bullshit. Jones is taking a quick juice break. He will be back. Fuck John Jones, man. Fuck him. He should be fighting. Like, this Stipe fight is a joke, brother. Let's get them sweating. Yeah, you agree if you get... Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, you know, some fucking buttfuck doctor out in the middle of Perth, give him 5-6 grand to say that you got an injury and you don't have to fight. It's got to be... When the UFC goes around the world to, like, France or whatever, like when they go to Brazil, when they go to France, when they go to Australia, when they go to Perth, then the fighters should have to be like, if you want to keep your ranking, you need to come in and get checked by a UFC accredited doctor that travels with the UFC. They already do that. They literally, like... They already do that. Sorry, Tony. Just not my juju. It's all good, mate. We're all having fun. We're just fucking hanging out. Fucking highway robbery that Jones got his pound for pound title after beating Gane, and he only fought once in 4 years. Exactly. Islam Makhachev goes and knocks out Alexander Volkanovski, and John Jones chokes out someone who can't wrestle. And they go, oh, John Jones is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. After John Jones's last 3 fights at light heavyweight were dog shit, right? Reyes, bullshit, barely won that one. Thiago Santos couldn't finish a one-legged Thiago Santos. And then Anthony Smith, like that fight has aged fucking terribly. And they're like, oh, John Jones is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world. Fuck off. Western Mass. I'm good that we're having fun, mate. You're getting raped by the algorithm lately. Noticed your subs haven't gone up. It is what it is, man. It's just a talking head. There's a lot of like small YouTube channels out there right now. It is what it is. I'm going to leave the stream running, but I'm closing my eyes, mate. Western Mass, you have a good night, brother. I will chat to you tomorrow. Is tomorrow the fights? Chat to you tomorrow. You have a good night's sleep, dude. John Jones got that Dana White privilege. John Jones is lucky that Francis Ngannou bailed on the UFC because Dana needs to be able to tell the media that Francis was too scared to fight the greatest MMA fighter of all time, John Jones. That's why he's getting defense run for him by the UFC. And we all know it. And thank God for bigger channels like Jesse on Fire and the MMA Guru and the Weasel, the talking heads that don't get fucked by the algorithm. Thank God that they know the right narrative and they're putting it out there. Because otherwise it would just be ESPN calling John Jones the greatest fighter ever, which is not true. But thanks, Tony. Thanks for noticing. It's all good, man. It is what it is. We'll press on, man. We make our little videos every day, and it'll build. John Jones has got that Dana White privilege. Yep, that's why. Have you already discussed the Tyson training videos? I haven't, but I will. We will. We can get into that. Even been getting Guru to shout you out on stream. Was that you? I was working, listening to the Guru in the background, and someone goes, have you heard of Dougie's Corner? And Guru's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But I was like, that was my fucking name. Who the fuck just said my name? So whoever was it, if that was you, Tony, thank you. But yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. Great stream, man. Last one. Do you think... Oh, thank you, dude. I appreciate it, brother. If you like the stream, hit the little notification thing because I run my own business and I stream pretty sporadically whenever I get a spare hour to jump on. So if you liked it, hit notifications and you'll know next time I come on because it's not consistent. I will be going live before Guru does tomorrow. I pretty much pretend to be the Guru waiting room so we can hang out and go live for that for a bit and then we can all jump into Guru's stream and have a good time. Last one. Do you think lightweight has a problem in the future with good contenders? Seems like Islam is going to be the king of the division for years at that rate. No, man. I think lightweight is such like a hard churning room. And Muhammad, we will talk about Tyson's training footage, brother. Lightweight is such like a grindy training room. Like it pretty much, right? Look at what Benoit and Sarukian and Gamrot and Dan Hooker and Jarlin Turner and Drew Dober. Look at all the fights and the wars they have to have, right? Like how hard it is for them. They pretty much just fighting Oliveira or Dustin or Gaethje, just fighting one of them is like a title shot. It's almost like you have to be a champion just to fight a contender. It's fucking crazy. So when that old guard do eventually drop out, when Dustin retires and Gaethje retires and Islam retires, we're going to have all these young guns like Dober and Jarlin, like all these young up-and-comers that we're seeing fight their guts out. Like Benoit Saint Denis is 28 years old. And Dustin and Justin are like 33 or something like that. So we, the fans, are still going to enjoy Benoit for like, that sounded... we, the fans, are still going to enjoy watching Benoit Saint Denis fight for like another 3 or 4 years while he enters his prime, man. So I think lightweight is just so grueling that it just builds big fucking names. You know what I mean? So yeah, dude, that's where I'm at with that. Francis has 2 boxing fights, $30 million. John Jones' entire career over 15 years has made $10 million. That is true. That is true. But is it legacy or money? What do you want in life? You know? Only you can answer that. There's only one right answer, and it's your right answer. So, Ali, thank you. Been wondering this myself for a while. Oh, nice. You guys are talking to each other. All good. Yeah, I think there's going to be a new guard. How old's Dober? Isn't Dober like 28, 27? How old's Dober? Am I wrong here, Tony? Yeah, lightweight is insane. Insane. Let's talk about the Tyson thing now. I will get back to that. But actually, let me just check Dober's Drew Dober. $35? Jesus Christ, he looks good. Jesus. Dober's 35. Holy shit. Tony. Okay. Take Dober out of that. Fucking get Dober out of that conversation. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well, I mean, Dober's going to die. Absolutely, man. Oh, shit. All right. Tyson Fury, dude. Tyson Fury. Shit, man. Tyson Fury, right? We're seeing all this training footage of him. We just saw some up there on the screen of him working on the pads and Mike Tyson. Thank you. Mike Tyson training. Yeah, we're seeing all this training footage. Mike Tyson training, doing his routines, doing his like running through his sets. But Mike Tyson has been, I assume, with this same coach doing these same drills and these same sets for like, let's say the last 15, 20 years, right? He's had an entire career at this gym. I'm sure his muscle memory is moving through that so quickly and so precisely because it's so well honed in those exact same conditions for so long. Like, if it wasn't looking crisp and sharp by now, like, what have you been fucking doing, Mike Tyson? Jake Paul is coming to hurt him. If it's a real fight, if this is real, like, let's pretend that this isn't, being paid for by Netflix and it's this production and it's all just there to draw in this money and boxing isn't dirty as shit. Let's pretend it's a real fight. Jake Paul is coming to like make even more of a name off him. And it's very, very different when you've got this like young up and coming kid that wants to fucking hurt you versus your coach who loves you that you've been working with for the last 20 years on the exact same routines. Like Chael said a long time ago, anyone can look like a champion in the gym because it's all set up for you. Your team is helping you and wants you to get better. But in a real fight, if Tyson versus Paul is a real fight, Paul wants to fucking hurt Tyson. And there's a big difference between, this kid wanting to hurt you and your coach knowing that you're 60 years old running through the same routine that you've been running for the last 10 years. That's what I think about Mike Tyson's training footage. You agree, it's a good list of contenders, but realistically, you don't see anyone touching Islam for years. I agree, lightweight makes tough fights. I think it's arguably the most stacked division. Yeah, bro, literally put out a video this week talking about lightweight might be the most... Winning the UFC lightweight title might be the hardest thing to do in all of combat sports. And essentially it's talking about that, like just how deep and stacked lightweight is. So, yeah. List of good contenders. Don't see anyone touching Islam for years. Yeah, I mean, until Islam loses a step, ages out, until he starts to lose that step, he can go for as long as he wants. But the thing is, he's Dagestani. So how long is he going to want to go for? You know what I mean? Like these Dagestanis, they don't go forever in a day. They sort of get their wins and then they get the fuck out. If he is really like following in Khabib's footsteps, that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at. Okay. He's 32. That's fine. Like at lightweight, that's fine. Yeah, 2 to 3 years. If he wants, though. If he wants 2 or 3 years. Again, these Dagestanis, they don't choose to be in there for long, And maybe that's why he's trying to fight 3 times a year. We'll see. I mean, I saw people giving him shit that he isn't fighting enough. He fought 2 times last year. He's got Ramadan at the start of the year. He can still fight 2 times this year. I mean, it's not like Ramadan didn't exist last year. He fought twice last year. So, I mean, he fought twice last year because he fought early in the year and then later in the year. But if he has a quick turnaround, he can still do it. I don't know. I think we need to hold off judgment about whether or not he's being inactive just because he just had Ramadan. They have Ramadan every year. Yeah, if he has 3 fights a year, he almost has 10 fights left. Yeah. Even if he has 2 fights this year, 3 fights next year, or 2 fights every, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how he goes. We'll see how much he wants to go, how much he wants to push for. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You feel me? You feel me, boys? All right, it has been an hour, so that's it for me. I'm going to go. It's Saturday night. I'm going to go give my girlfriend a hug and a kiss, and I'll finally come home. So I'm going to go say hi to her and stop ignoring her and enjoy my Saturday night. But I will see you lads tomorrow. I'm going to go live right as the prelims start, right as the first prelim start, maybe even a little bit earlier. So if you want to join me and hang out with me, hit the notification bell. You'll know when I go live. And then, once everyone moves over to the Guru stream, I'm going to go over to the Guru stream as well and just fucking hang out, enjoy the fights, and have a good bloody time. Not stream the entire day. So, yeah. Thanks for joining me, man. It was great. It was a great stream. Tony, thank you. Western Mass, thank you. Arrow, welcome to the team, brother. Hit the notification bell if you enjoyed this, and I'll see you on the next one. Muhammad, as always, big dog, thank you for joining me on the stream, and I'll see you tomorrow. Although I'm going to be 100% honest, I'd be crazy to think Islam fighting 3 times a year. Yeah, no, I don't think he's going to fight 3 times a year. Tony, mate! You'll be at work, won't tune in. Tony, thank you so much for the chip in, bro. I'm going to use that money to buy a new fucking cable for this camera because it unplugged halfway through the stream. So I need to get that fixed. Western Mass, go to sleep, brother. Go to sleep. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll see all you boys tomorrow. You have a good night. Good morning, wherever you are. Tony with the $2. You're a king. Thanks, mate. All right. See you, lads. Bye. Bye.